Now, I'm sure I'm not the only person who's never actually seen the movie Jaws, but even those among us who haven't seen it are aware of the movie, and we're aware of, the basic idea, a movie about shark attacks. I'll give you my thoughts on it in just a little bit, but let me just start off, just in case you don't know. Jaws is a book written probably in the 80s, if I had to guess, that is about a killer shark that is, I mean, it's that simple. It's a movie about a killer shark killing people on a beach in a little tourist town. There really is nothing more grand to it than that. I mean, there doesn't really have to be. I mean, um, I liked that really silly movie Lake Placid, and there really wasn't anything special about that movie either. These are real basic concepts. The whole creature feature, and I mean, it's fine for what it is. As far as the breakdown, it has some real strong language. It has some pretty strong violence and gore, but not as bad as it could have been. It did have it bad, but I mean, there were a lot of times that I thought, oh, good, because I get a little bit squeamish about some stuff, and I've seen some things that I don't really want to be reminded of things that I've seen. And as far as sexual content, yeah, here's the thing. There was very little reference of an actual sex scene, but there was a lot of detail about let's just say, the build-up to the encounter. And there is a lot of sexual things that are said. So, however you want to see that. As far as religious, there isn't really much by way of religion here. There are a few snide things said about, God and Christianity, and it's pretty much it. So now my thoughts on the book. I was not overly impressed. The beginning it's not that long of a book. It's like 300 pages, but the beginning kind of took off real slow and made me kind of think, okay, like this is kind of pointless rambling. He was trying to give us, I think, some world building, but it just kind of felt like a little bit of a slog, which was interesting with such a short book. I hated the police chief's wife, and I also hated the young, what's it called, ichthyologist or whatever, fish, animal person, whatever. Okay, an animal person that focuses on fish. I don't know what it's called. That Matt, I think his name was Matt Hooper. I wasn't a big fan of him either. There weren't a whole lot of people in this story that were awesome. One of them is kind of a hunter, like a professional fisher guy. He was interesting. The main police chief was interesting. There was an event that happens in the story that I really, really, really wanted resolved, and I feel like it wasn't. And that takes me to my next problem, past the characters, is when you get to the end of the book, it just stops. Like, the relationships, that is never, it's never given like rest. Like, you're never given peace about it. And unlike the movies, there is no Jaws 2. Now, there is a Jaws 2 book that they adapted from a manuscript of the movie, but it wasn't by the same guy, if I remember correctly. The only original Jaws book is this one, Jaws 1. So that's it, one and done. I wasn't really impressed with the ending. As far as the thriller aspect, this is, I think, would be classified as a thriller horror. I was not overly at all, even a little bit nervous or scared or anything. I didn't really find it that scary of a concept. Yeah, there was nothing about it that I thought, ooh. I know some people will say, okay, well, that's because you're not afraid of sharks, right? Well, here's the thing. Even Jurassic Park had some elements to it that I was like, oh, that's a little frightening. And there are no real dinosaurs walking around anymore, right? They're all dead. Or take Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. There's not really a potion that I can take that's going to like change me into another person or whatever. But I found that pretty scary. So I don't really think it's the aspect of, not being afraid of sharks. I just think that the book itself wasn't overly scary. The ending was kind of cool with the whole big showdown with the shark. That was kind of cool. But I mean, those are just my thoughts. I wasn't overly impressed. I would say it's like a 3.5 star. It was good. It was fine. I'm never going to like go back and read it again. I would never own the book, but it was fine. What are your thoughts of Jaws? What do you think was better, the movie or the book? Because I never watched the movie. I have zero interest in watching the movie, and now after reading the book, I have even less interest in watching the movie. But what did you think of the book? Were there certain characters that you liked or didn't like? I just love to hear what you had to say about it.